would buy a kid's road trip activity book when you could just kit them a mobile phone or tablet instead? Well, if we look at these books on Amazon and put the bestsellers rank into a book sales calculator, we can see that between 2,400 and 4,950 people a month would. And what's more interesting is if we consider a KDP book selling this amount for $6.49, it would be making between $4,300 and $8,600 a month. And that's just one book in pure royalties. So we need to take a closer look. So this video is going to be a KDP niche video, and we're going to take a deep dive into the niche. I've got some keywords to give away, which will help books get ranked and seen on Amazon. And also I'm going to give you some resources to help you create the interiors and covers of these types of books if you are interested in creating them. So let's just have a closer look at the niche. And we're going to be looking at the road trip activity book niche. Now, when I'm first evaluating a niche, I want to make sure sales are being made. So normally I look on the first page of the search results and look for 3 or more books with bestsellers ranks of less than 300,000. If that's the case, I know books are being sold, and therefore it's worthwhile going into the niche. And straight away, if we put in road trip activity book and scroll down to the organic results, we can see the first 4 books all have bestsellers ranks of less than 300,000. And if we scroll down even further, we can see that there are more books with low bestsellers ranks as well. So first of all, these books are selling and are selling very well. Next thing is I want to just get a general idea of the competition, and we do that by looking at the number of search results. Now I am looking in the all category and I'm looking on the US version of Amazon, and we can see that there are 4,000 search results. Now normally I would consider that quite high, but there's something interesting about these books that I want to show you. If we scroll down, we can see that the first couple of rows on the search results are road trip activity books. But when we get to around about the 4th row, we can start to see other types of books appear. And we've got this one here, which is a Scissor Skills Paper Dolls book. And if we have a look at this book a bit more closely, we can see that it's put road trip activities for kids in the title. So this book, which is not a road trip activity book, has managed to get on the first page just by putting road trip activities for kids in the title. And no doubt they've used similar keywords in the 7 keyword boxes as well. And if we have a look further along, we've got this book here, a memory game, puzzle book for seniors, and we've got a license plate journal here. So for this particular niche, I would say that it's got what I call a shallow depth of search. And that is, it doesn't take very long scrolling down the listings on the first page for us to come across books that are not road trip activity books, which indicates to me that there's a good chance if we create one of these books that we're going to be able to get it ranked on the first page of the search results. So this tells me again, this is a niche that I'd be very interested in creating books. So the next thing we need to look at is the actual keywords, which are essential for getting your books ranked and hopefully seen in the search results on Amazon when someone does a search for something like road trip activity book. Now, I've done a couple of videos recently on how I do keyword research and how I use keywords to give my books the best chance of getting high up on those search results on the first page of Amazon. So I won't cover that here, but I'll leave a link to those 2 videos down below in the description, and they're well worth watching if you are looking at getting your books ranked or having trouble getting books you've already created ranked on Amazon. So basically, when we put in a keyword on Amazon, we can see here that Amazon gives us these suggestions. And also I've got a free plugin installed called AMZ Suggestion Expander, which gives these other search results as well. And what I basically do is I put each of these keywords into the Amazon search bar and look at the number of search results. And from this, I build a keyword list, which looks something like this, where we've got a list of the keywords. We've got the number of Amazon search results for each keyword, and where available, the number of Google monthly searches as well. And overall, when I did the keyword research, I found 57 keywords. And the keywords I normally target when I'm creating books are those keywords with Amazon search results of 1,000 results or less, because I know from experience that if I target those keywords, I've got a good chance of getting my books ranked on Amazon. If I'm going to run ads on my book, then I will target those keywords with more than 1,000 search results. That is, they have a bit more competition on Amazon. But as I've just said, and I've just shown you, these books do have a very shallow depth of search, and that is on that first page, we start to see books that aren't the type of books we want to create, which means our books have got a good chance of getting on that first page. So I'd be very tempted to look at keywords with more than 1,000 search results in this case. Now, creating a list of keywords can be quite time consuming, but I have saved you the time by uploading this list of keywords to my Gumroad shop, where it's available free of charge. And you can download the keywords in PDF format, or as an Excel spreadsheet, or in .csv format. So I'll leave a link to that down below in the description. Just go along there, download it for free, and you've got a good start in creating your books. And as a reminder, I've done a video on how to use these keywords in your books listing, which I'll leave a link to also in the description. Okay, so now we come on to probably what's the most challenging parts of creating these books, and that is producing the cover and interior. So in terms of the covers for these types of books, we've got a number of options. One is Fiverr. You could go there, put in something like activity book cover, and you've got lots of creators here who will create a book cover for you. And by the looks of it, quite reasonable prices. All these are in Australian dollars because I'm in Australia. There's also a site called getcovers.com, which I'm going to look at in a bit more detail in a future video. But these are also reasonably priced book covers, and they do children's books. And to create a cover, a standard cover is $20 US, which seems very reasonable. Now, if you are adept at using things like Affinity Designer, Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop, and have got some design skills, you can obviously create one of these types of books yourself. Now, here's another option, and that is using AI. Now, I like to use Midjourney, so I went over there and I just put in book cover for kids road trip activity book, cartoon illustration style, no words or letters. And you can see it created these covers, and yes, some do have words and letters, but it is actually possible to remove those. It involves converting the image into a vector and then removing those words or letters. Now, I would avoid using these top two here because they've got the Volkswagen logo on there, which is trademark infringement. But I quite like this one here, the bottom left. So what I did is I upscaled that, and then I clicked on this new feature, which was remaster, and it gave me these further 4 options. And I like this one here at the top right. So again, I upscaled that and got this image. And I took it across into Affinity Designer and created this quick mock-up of a book cover, which I think looks attractive. It's very colourful and likely to attract the attention of a customer on Amazon, which is the main aim of your book cover. So using something like Midjourney AI, you could create a unique book cover like this, which I think would do well on the cover of your book. So now we come to the interior. Now, the interiors of these books contain basically puzzles, different activities that kids can do. So things like word search, mazes, simple Sudoku puzzles, that type of thing. And there are a number of options for creating the interiors of these types of books. One is BookBolt. Now, this is not free. It's $19.99 per month for the pro version, which is what you need to create puzzle book interiors. But they do have a 3-day free trial. So you could go along there and give it a whirl for 3 days and create an interior. And if we go to the BookBolt Studio and then click on this little maze here for our interiors and scroll down, we can see that there are a lot of options here for creating pages with different types of puzzles. So we've got mazes, word search, crosswords, hangman type puzzles. So that's one option. The other option is to go along to something like Creative Fabrica. Now, I'll leave a link to that down below, because if you sign up with that link for the first month, you can download, I think it's 10 products for free. So you can actually create an interior with these 10 products. And I just put in puzzle book interior and came up with all these offerings. Now, there's 75,000 search results here, so there's lots to pick from. Now, if you were going to do this, what I would do is probably download a selection of different interiors and then mix and match different pages from different downloads. So you would end up something more unique rather than just downloading one puzzle book interior from this site, because there's always a risk that someone else has downloaded that and already uploaded it to Amazon, and then you get done for a duplicate content penalty. So if you do what I've just showed you, download a number of these, take pages from each one, mix them together, you should end up with something that's a bit more unique. And so this is a very cheap and quick way of creating a puzzle book interior. There are other options if you do searches on Google. For instance, we've got this one here, which is from crosswordlabs.com. This is free software to create crossword interiors, and you put in here things like the answer and space and then the clue, and you do a list of those and it will create a crossword puzzle for you. One of the best things about this site is that if we look here, it says, can I sell my crossword or use it for commercial purposes? Yes, you can, and you don't even need to leave an attribution to Crossword Labs, although it's good karma to just leave an attribution maybe on the last page of your book. So there you have the resources for creating the interior and the cover, and you've got the keywords which will help your books get ranked and hopefully seen on Amazon. So it's just up to you now to use your creativity and put all that together. Now, if you are completely new to all of this and fancy creating a book like this, then I would recommend maybe starting off with something a bit more basic like a lined notebook or journal. In which case, I would recommend starting with this video here where I show you how to make a basic journal and upload it to Amazon. Thank you very much for your time. It is very much appreciated. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And until next time, goodbye.